Hello, hello, Inter 1 students. In this class, we're going to speak about the grammar that refers to unit 2B. 2B or not to be. 2B, né? Let's go. Okay, in unit 2B, we have the contrast of between present perfect, for instance, and present perfect continuous. In unit 2A, we saw present perfect referring to the past, but now we see the present perfect referring to the present. It's a different present. It's a present that is a past not finished. Okay, for example, I have studied English for 3 years. Okay, I started 3 years ago, and today I am studying English. So I've studied English for 3 years. I say, hey, they have been here for 2 hours already. Okay, they've been here for 2 hours. So 2 hours ago they arrived, and now that I am speaking, they are still there. Okay? So em português, eles estão aqui há 2 horas, right? Eu estudo inglês há 3 anos. Okay? So in Portuguese, the expression is in the present, and we always use for or since, and the question is how long. All right? Well, to use the present perfect with for or since, please understand that for indicates a certain amount of time, and since it specifies when that activity started. Okay, so I say, I've lived in Maceió for 10 years. 10 years ago, I started living here. So I say, I've lived in Maceió since 2011. Since 2011. So I started in 2011, and now I am still here. All right. So this is the present perfect expressing the present using for and since. Okay. Since a point in time, for an amount, a quantity of time. Right. So you have it here. You have a few examples. Let me highlight these examples. They've known each other for 10 years, okay? The number of years, okay, for 10 years. Julia's had that bag since she was at university, okay? Since she was born, right? So she has had that bag. Then you have this here, how long, okay? How long is the question? How long have you worked here? Since 1996. So whenever you ask how long, you need to use the present perfect, because the answer is going to be either using for or since. How long has your brother had his motorbike? Okay, for about a year. All right, so this is how you use the present perfect for and since, indicating something present, starting somewhere in the past, but it's still here. All right, very well. Let's move on. Well, when, okay, here we have the present perfect continuous. When do we use the present perfect continuous? Well, there are a few moments when you need to do that. Well, generally speaking, when we use for or since, we can always exchange present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, for example, I've studied English for 3 years. I have been studying English for 3 years. No problem. Okay, she has lived in São Paulo since last year. Since last year, she has been living in São Paulo since last year. So all in all, we can exchange the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Okay. However, there are moments which only the present perfect continuous is good. For example, when something is obvious, okay? You see somebody is sweat, you say, you have been working out, right? Someone is exhausted. I say, wow, You have been working a lot, all right? So when something is obvious, you use, look at this example 2 here, use the present perfect continuous. Your eyes are red. Have you been crying? Okay, so it's obvious, okay? No, I've been chopping onions. Funny thing, right? So this is, and of course, you use the present perfect continuous. This is the exercise. You can't use the present perfect continuous when you use non-action verbs. Okay, but this is for the present continuous, all continuous, right? So you can't use no, for example. Okay, I've known my wife for 5 years. Okay, you can't say I've been knowing because the verb know doesn't take the continuous form. All right, so it's important that you remember this. Okay, and when you speak about something that started somewhere in the past and still happens, don't use the present simple. Eu moro aqui há 2 anos. I live here for 2 years. This doesn't exist. Okay, I've lived here for 2 years. Okay, very well. And of course, you use the present perfect continuous for things that have been happening for some time in the past. All right. Well, she has been going to that elderly home for about a month. Okay, so she normally does that. And this is how to use the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. All right, so this is it. And this is the grammar part for Unit 2B. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.